Hey guys, Brick Chick here, and welcome to Q&A Tuesday. The first question is from Louis Davis, who asked, what are your thoughts on the UCS LEGO Millenium Falcon? Great question. So the LEGO Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon, I believe that's what UCS stands for, right? Ultimate Collector Series, that would make sense. I might be wrong, you guys can correct me though. But anyway, the new gigantic LEGO Millennium Falcon set was just released to VIPs a couple days ago, actually, I think on the 14th, right? The 14th of September. But it was only available to LEGO VIPs, but there was a very limited supply, and a lot of people are complaining that LEGO stores didn't have enough in stock, and there was only like 2 or 3 at each LEGO store, so not very many people were able to get this new set. And it's sold out on LEGO Shop at Home, like online, and no LEGO stores have it. And until further notice, it's not going to be available and it's out of stock. But I'm sure it'll be back in stock in no time. But anyway, what are my thoughts on this huge LEGO set? Alright, so here are the official pictures from LEGO for the new massive Millennium Falcon set. This set is so big, it has over 7,500 pieces, which is just absolutely massive, and that makes it the largest LEGO set to date. The largest LEGO set I have is the Assembly Square set, which is still pretty big. It has a little over 4,000 pieces, but that means that this set has 3,500 more pieces than that set, so it's almost twice the size. And oh my gosh, this set is just massive. It's substantially larger than the past Millennium Falcon sets that we've gotten, and a lot of the pieces I feel like are used to add all the detail and texture to the outside of it, you know, all these tiny little tiles and studs and everything. That really adds to the piece count. So let's go ahead and take a look at all these pictures. Here's one just kind of from the front. There's a top view. That is really cool, just the way it's shaped. It just looks really neat. It's cool to look at. Here's kind of a back view, side view, front view. There's kind of the entrance ramp to get into the Millennium Falcon. Here's the cockpit area, which looks really cool. I like how they smoothed it off with all of these smooth bow slope pieces. That looks really nice and finished. Here's kind of some pictures of the interior. This is neat. They have kind of this little seating area in that game. I forget what it's called. But, you know, it's the famous game from Star Wars. There's some of the minifigures inside, and then it shows the minifigures. So you get minifigures for the original trilogy, and then also for Force Awakens. So that's really cool. And you also get a new Han Solo minifigure and a new Princess Leia minifigure, both of which look amazing. Then you get some cool animal builds. You get BB-8 and some new kind of creature. Don't know what they're called, but they look pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's a cool set. Obviously, most definitely never going to get this. It's $800. If I had that much to spend on LEGO, I probably wouldn't get this set. I'd get some other smaller sets. I mean, this is a really, really neat set. It's just not something that I would really see myself buying. I'm not a super fan of Star Wars, so I don't feel, you know, an urge to get this. But I'm sure a lot of people are super excited for this set and will definitely get it, but I am definitely not one of those people. The next question is from BrickBoyHD, who asked, what are your thoughts on LEGO Dimensions Wave 9? Alright, so for LEGO Dimensions Wave 9, we got 5 new sets. 2 are Powerpuff Girls sets, 2 are Teen Titans Go, and 1 is a Beetlejuice set. I'm not at all familiar with Beetlejuice, but I have heard of the Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans Go. I don't watch either of those shows, but of course I've heard of them, so we can just take a look at each of these sets individually. Alright, so first here's the Powerpuff Girls Team Pack. So I'm kind of familiar with the show, you know, I've heard of it and I've seen pictures of the wacky main characters with their massive heads, but I'm no expert on the show, so I don't know their names or anything. But this looks pretty cool. I absolutely love how they made an entirely new mold for these absolutely massive heads. I'm sure next to a minifigure head, they're just ridiculously huge. It's just so funny. They're just so comically large, and their massive eyes. These are just really cool looking. It looks like you also get this buildable, interesting looking octopus with like a top hat and some sort of interesting phone with the face. It's a pretty fun looking team pack, and I'm sure for fans of the show, this is definitely a great set. And then here's the second Powerpuff Girls set, which is the Fun Pack, And it looks like with this you get the third Powerpuff Girl. I think there are only 3 of them, right? So it just looks so funny with the huge heads. I just can't get over how funny those look. Every time I see them, it just makes me laugh. And it looks like you get this interesting mech that can be transformed into other things. Looks like a guitar and like a fist or something, or some sort of interesting tank. The Teen Titans Go team pack looks interesting. Again, I've heard of this show, but I know nothing about it, so I don't know these characters' names or anything, but it looks pretty interesting. He looks pretty funny, with the green hairpiece with kind of these elf ears, and then there's this guy with this hood. He looks pretty creepy, and it looks like you get this interesting car tractor thing that turns into a forklift, and then this very scary looking vortex thing that I wouldn't go anywhere near if I saw it in real life. And then here's the Teen Titans Go Fun Pack. This looks interesting. This is a cool looking minifigure. I don't know if this hairpiece has come in this kind of dark pink, magenta-ish color before, but if not, that's really cool to get that hairpiece in that new color. We don't really get LEGO hairpieces in, non-traditional hair colors like pink, so that's pretty cool. And this mech looks interesting. Let's see, does it show what it can transform into? No, it doesn't look like it, but it looks pretty cool. And then finally here's the Beetlejuice Fun Pack, and again, I'm not at all familiar with Beetlejuice. I've honestly never heard of it until seeing this. This looks interesting. This giant worm or snake thing that's coming out of the ground looks pretty scary. It's a cool looking build. I like how they use these hinge pieces to kind of curve this part a little bit, and his mouth looks really scary. I definitely would not go near that if I saw that in real life. And then here's the minifigure. I'm guessing this is Beetlejuice. His hairpiece, I think that's the Joker's hairpiece in kind of a light green, and that looks really cool, and he has a cool black and white striped outfit. And then the last question I'm going to be answering in this video is from TD Bricks, who asked, what were your thoughts on Mr. Gold when minifigure series 10 came out? That's a great question. So you guys might not know this, but LEGO Minifigure Series 10 was the first minifigure series that I got minifigures from. But I only got 3 different minifigures from it. I got the Revolutionary Soldier, the Centurion, and then the Skydiver. But I actually have 2 of the Skydiver minifigures because I accidentally got a duplicate, which stinks because in my opinion, that is the worst minifigure in that series. So when Series 10 came out, I had no idea what I was doing with minifigure series. I was completely new to the whole blind bag thing, and so they had them at some store, and my mom and I were like feeling them, and I was trying to find a couple of minifigures that I wanted, and I found out about Mr. Gold, that he was this super special minifigure, and so I really wanted to find him. Whenever I went to the store and there were Series 10 packs, I would feel all of them to see if I could find Mr. Gold, because, who wouldn't want to get Mr. Gold? You could, get him and then sell him on eBay for a couple $100, and that'd be amazing, because then you could use that money to buy other LEGO sets. So yes, I was one of those people that really, really wanted to get Mr. Gold, but no, I was not one of those crazy people that went to extreme measures to try to get Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold caused a lot of problems. People would actually go to a store and tear open minifigure packs to try to find Mr. Gold, and when they found him, they would steal him, which is a terrible thing to do. People would just steal minifigure packs so they could try to find him. I have a feeling that people who weren't even interested in LEGO tried to find Mr. Gold just so they could make, a couple $100 on eBay, which is just terrible. And trust me, I wanted to get Mr. Gold. Who wouldn't want to find him and be able to sell him for a couple $100 and then be able to use that money to buy LEGO? But no way was I going to actually steal minifigure packs to try to get him. That is just terrible, and I cannot believe that some people actually did that. And some stores actually had to keep Series 10 minifigure packs in a protective case so that people wouldn't steal them, which is just crazy and just terrible that they would actually have to do that because people would try to steal them. And I kind of feel bad for LEGO because people were really hating on LEGO for this, like, oh, you should have known that this would have happened, you know, look what you did, this caused all these problems with people stealing. But I feel bad because I thought it was kind of a cool idea. You know, LEGO wanted to try something new with minifigure series. They had never done anything like this, so there was this special kind of mystery limited edition minifigure. You know, there were only 5,000 of them, so it would be pretty cool to get one. And it was kind of good marketing because then people would buy more minifigure packs than they normally would in hopes that they would get Mr. Gold. And I feel bad that it didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to, you know, ended up with people stealing minifigure packs, and now people kind of look back at Series 10 as a bad minifigure series, and they only remember about, you know, the bad things that happened with Mr. Gold, and they don't really remember the good minifigures that that series had. So unfortunately the whole thing ended up just being a mess, and I have a feeling that LEGO will not be including any more special limited edition minifigures in any of their future minifigure series. And that concludes this episode of Q&A Tuesday. I hope that answered all of you guys' questions, and if you guys have any more questions for me, please put them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe so that you know when I make new videos. And thanks for watching, guys.